السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربي أني مسني الضر وأنت أرحم الراحمين. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وأتباعه وسلم. ربنا اغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين. آمين. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم. ربنا اغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين. آمين. الحمد لله رب العالمين.
So we are continuing to read from the reasonings under a false supposition and a reminder.
The subject is about the messengership of Muhammad.
O brothers and sisters, the religious life and the Sharia that regulates it, both of which are necessarily in conformity with the essentials of the sciences and rational truths, necessarily so, because sciences are the tongues of God's universal book of creation, while the Sharia is the assembly of his laws for religious life, encompass almost all of the different fields of knowledge. To cite a few examples, moral training, purification of the soul, care of the body, management of the house, civil law, social order, general law, and so on. The Sharia established detailed rules concerning some matters included in these and other fields of knowledge, while in others it promulgated general principles and left to human reason the deduction of necessary laws that were based on them. Specialists in all sciences and branches of knowledge, if unbiased and fair-minded, will certainly admit that the religious rules and regulations of Islam and the commandments of its Sharia, which were given 13, now 14 centuries ago, cannot be the product of a human being. Thomas Carlyle, one of the famous thinkers of the modern world, quotes from a wise German politician that after his research about Islam, he asked himself whether modern civilization could adapt itself to Islam and survive. That politician gave an affirmative answer to his question. Carlyle himself also acknowledges that when the truths of Islam appeared like a brightly burning fire, they assimilated other systems of thought and religions, which resembled pieces of wood. He is correct in his judgment because any fallacy cannot survive in the face of truth.
Can we go back to the paragraph? And something attracted your attention? Anything? Question? Question or some vocabulary terms that attracted your attention?
So I believe we've been discussing the Sharia, which...
Yeah, Sharia of the Quran, which is brought by Muhammad. Yeah.
Which is the way to acknowledge our Maker in our practical daily lives.
And live accordingly.
And live accordingly.
So we need regulations also for this, and the Sharia includes regulations of life in order to apply all these understandings, let's say, presented in the ideas of the Quran into practical knowledge.
So, with regards to the Sharia, it's being now presented as the assembly of his laws for religious life.
Yeah, but before this, in the paragraph, there is both of which are religious life and Sharia. Both of which, do I understand it rightly? Religious life and Sharia, both are
In conformity.
help all of us, help. Yeah. Continue.
Both of which are necessarily in
So both
conformity.
of which, it is not clear. Say it.
The religious life
And
the Sharia,
Sharia are
both in conformity with the essentials of the sciences.
necessarily. Necessarily. Why necessarily? We will discuss. Yeah, that is the point. So in
conformity with the essentials of the sciences and rational truths.
now, in continue, I think the text explains what it means by science.
Because
Well,
sciences,
maybe we will go into the essentials of science. Right. Now, because sciences, but we are interested in what? Essentials of sciences. So, because it says necessarily, so why? Why is it necessary? Why the Sharia and the religious life must be in conformity with sciences? But essentials of sciences, of what we will discuss, what essentials of sciences are. Yep.
because sciences are the tongues of God's universal book of creation.
That's why we were not hesitant to interpret the word al-kitab in the Quran, mostly, I mean, maybe by all, except it, the kitab, the word kitab refers to the Quran itself. But once, a few weeks ago, we discussed that the kitab, yes, definitely it refers to the Quran, and also, that this universal book of creation, in reality, there is no difference. Yeah? In reality, there is no difference. Both of them are God's words.
Sorry, the difference between what?
Between the essentials of
Okay.
the book of creation and the Quran, the revelation. But the only difference is apparent. What is apparent? One of them is in the form of act, the other one is in the form of speech. But they must be in conformity with each other. That's why we can understand the word, the book, which is frequently used in the Quran as the Quran, but at the same time, the book of the creation. Both are meant. But most of the people take it this way, which is correct. We cannot really say I'm doubtful or criticize it. It's correct, but at the same time, we have to open up our minds that the book and kitab may also refer to the creation, but of course we are interested in the essentials of the creation. Why creation is brought to the discussion in this context? For two reasons. One is the speech can only be understood by the demonstration of the act. That's one reason. The other reason, because the mind works within the universe, mind works as taking the universe as an example of the work of God. So in the universe, the creative abilities, creators, we call them names, but the capacities are manifested in his work. And mind works through the witnessing or exemplary demonstration of the creation. So rationality must be confirmed, or rationality is needed. Or, sorry, the sentence is wrong. Rationality needs powerful example. Demonstrable in the form of action, so that we will see the action and confirm that the actor of this action must have these qualities. And then go back to the text, speech, record of the speech, and see what it says, and I will be able to confirm the speech, content of the speech, as it is from the one who is demonstrating his qualities to me in the creation. So I can use my reasoning under the witnessing that I observe in the act. I cannot use my reasoning on abstract concepts in the speech. Because if the speech is not confirmed by the action, I don't know. First, what it's talking about. Second, how can I ensure that what it says is true? It must be proved. Yeah. Not only the philosophers say, what is the word they use? Disprove. No. Not disprovable. You can help me. Unless something, it must be disprovable, but not the word they use. It's not familiar to me.
Are you saying like unless it's proven otherwise?
Yeah, but they use the word.
A priori?
No, something disprovable. Then the science says if we say something, but it's a very tricky way of presenting it, we must prove it under the witness of the action. Not, they don't say action, they say under the witnessing of nature. They call it. They don't see it as an action of an actor. It's called nature. Okay? Something unprovable doesn't sound. No, you know, this very famous philosopher introduced it. But something unprovable, you know.
True unless proven wrong, or
No, it's the technical philosophical word. The philosophers. I just wanted to remember and use it with you. If you hear it, you shouldn't be unfamiliar with it. That's why it's very frequently used. Disprovable, unprovable. So, if I say something, for example, this mic is working. If I say this, the scientist says it must be within the capacity of the human beings that it is working, you can prove it, and do the other way around, it is not working. That's what the word was. Okay, it slipped from my mind, but it means that it's unprovable. So rationality works in this way. Under the witnessing of the action, evaluates the speech. For example, let's say we are not taking the witnessing of the action. And the text says, I am the creator, your creator, and the creator of the heavens and the earth, which is universe, and I am all powerful. Why would you believe it? All powerful? How do I know? How do I know? This is the only way for human capacity. What? It's very simple. See? The only capacity, the only way to approve or disapprove. This statement is what? Are you the all-powerful? And demonstrate. Show it. Otherwise, how can I know? Well, for example, it says, I see everything. Yeah. Endless, limitless. My knowledge has no limit. How do I know? Yeah. It must be demonstrable. It's very important. Why? If someone wants to understand the Quran and confirm or reject what it says, must have the witnessing of the book of the creation, or what did it say here? Book of creation. That's why we cannot really attribute the meaning to the word book to the Quran only. Impossible. The book of creation must be accompanied with it so that the rationality will confirm it. Otherwise, we cannot confirm. For example, if we don't take examples in the act of creation in the universe, it says, I'm going to resurrect you. Why? That you are going to resurrect me after I die, I got rotten. When I die, I get rotten when I die. What do you mean? But he says, I am the one who created the universe and demonstrated my ability, capacity to do resurrection in the universe. So you can understand that I am able to do this. If you don't really refer to the act of creation, you cannot confirm the speech at all. At all. I don't know how people read the Quran without taking the witnessing of the universe and make comments on it. It's ridiculous. None of the speech doesn't make sense. You have to take the example from creation. Even when Quran speaks about guidance, or gives guidance about human emotions, what do you have to do? For example, Quran says, I have created you in the perfect way, and you are a candidate, each of you is a candidate for eternal happiness. You have to do stop. What we have to do, stop. Am I a candidate for the eternal happiness? What you are doing here, go back to your human side. Am I a candidate for the eternal happiness? Yeah, my body runs, okay, but do I consist of body only? You have to go back to the creation. That's why we have to understand the word in the Quranic language. That's why I'm telling you, I don't want to teach you Arabic here. It is not Arabic, it's class. But the Quran, what the Quran says, the Kitab, we have to understand in both senses, inclusive. Not sometimes this, not sometimes that. No, always together. That's why we say we have to, if we translate the word Quran, when the Quran says Hadha Quran, Hadha Kitab, we have to open a parenthesis, say the speech of the Creator which is in your hand. Now you are listening, and the act of the Creator in the universe, these are all books conveying the message about it is speech maker or actor, both, because both of them are the same source. Whoever made the universe is speaking in the message. Or if you don't see the compatibility, what would you do? You cannot reject the universe. You reject the speech because it doesn't really demonstrate that it is a true statement. But we have to be very careful here. The word, the text used here, essentials of the sciences. What does it mean? Essentials of the sciences. When you look at the universe, you are expected to get an idea. Yeah? Not only learn something that physically you can practice in the world. So if you, for example, go to an exhibition hall, which is really the universe is an exhibition hall. When you go to the exhibition hall, you look at the arts demonstrated there or exhibited there, displayed there. Okay. And you look at the art, whatever there, which kind of art, this doesn't matter really, there are many different kinds of arts. And what you do at the end, you come to the conclusion that, oh, this is good, this is bad, this is something is missing, or everything is perfect, etc. And as you are going out of the exhibition hall, you say, you know, the one who displayed his art here was a great man, great artist, or not so. How did you know the man? No, he's not there, man or woman. He's not there. How did you know? Oh, I don't have to see the person. I've seen his art. That's my conclusion. Yeah? As you go out, and the man says, I am the one who made this, speaking. And I did a perfect work. You say, not really, because you didn't get impressed by the quality of the art. Or if you are impressed, you say, yes, you are. So you confirm his speech only after seeing, experiencing the art, his art or her art. It's very simple. Yeah, inshallah, it's essential. We discussed this before, but still the text keeps actually reminding us and makes it, or consolidates this understanding of the book, the kitab, or the book, referring to the speech and at the same time to the essentials of the science. I think those people who want to come and follow the classes must be familiar with this essentials of the science. What does it mean here? What it means? It's very simple. Essentials of science. It means nothing, not the matter itself, what the message it brings to human rationality. Huh? So human rationality.
Would you just limit it to rationality?
But because
Yeah.
reason, or you can say emotion, but it again
Yes.
in your physical existence here. So you can reason with it. We gave the example of, for example, you are a candidate for an eternal life. How are you going to prove it or disprove it? Disprove it. How do you do that? Look at yourself. Right? Look at yourself. And say, do I feel the need for an eternal life? Huh? Although my body is deteriorating every day, but I don't want to die. And I want to have an eternal life to last not only eternal, the happiest life. It's no problem. Don't you? Would you like it? Yes or no? Yeah, I would like to have an eternal life with no problems. Yeah, everything is fully satisfied. Would you like it? Yeah, that's why we are struggling. But unfortunately, the aim that this civilization introduces to us, yeah, you would like to be happy until you die. That's not eternal. Yeah, get the best, get the best one, get the best one. But at the end, can you get the best one? When you get old like me, you understand that you will never get the best one. Yeah. It means in this world, but you as a human being desire for eternity. You don't want to go into annihilation. You have to be happy and eternally happy. So you take this sentence under witnessing of your own creation. That's why when we say human beings, but rationality, you use your rationality while you are evaluating your emotions. What do they refer to? Right? Because if something doesn't go through rational approval or comfort, the heart doesn't get calm. Only if a person is not really serious about his existence, they say, oh, we are comfortable spiritually only, but if you ask them, will you be happy to have such and such life? Why not? Then what I want. I think essentials means what they refer to, not the thing itself. For example, not the let's say existence of water there in the bottle. The essentials of the water is what they refer to, the meaning. I'm prepared especially for human needs. I arrange the human body in such a way that it needs water, and I prepare the water. Now I send it to you by circulating in the form of rain and evaporating it, raining, clearing, purifying it, purifying it so that you will get purified water because your body needs purified. Yeah, not dirty water. So we understand from all this that the essentials of water is giving the news about the qualities of its creator, not necessarily which kind of atoms are there. Even you study are there, do they consist of this atom or that atom? That you can study and find out and see how wisely it is arranged. Again, essentials of this study must be, yes, I studied the water, structure of the water. Sorry?
Molecular structure.
What?
Molecular
Molecular structure of water, but why do you study the molecular structure of the water? Materialist people study it in order to benefit from its material being. That is correct, but they don't pay attention to the essentials, the meaning. Like somebody studies the text, look at the quality of paper and the quality of ink, yeah, and then try to understand how they make this paper so that he can produce as well or do something else by taking it as an example. But he never pays attention to the meaning of the text. Now, meaning of the text is essentials. No? So when we say the book of the universe, book of creation, if we want to compare the book of creation with the speech of its maker, the maker of the creation, you have to look at the matter from essentials, its essentials point of view. That is, now, studying science, as it is called today, studying the molecular structure of water, but they say we are not interested in the essentials. What does it mean for me as a human being? Which kind of meaning it carries to me, or conveys to me in its existence? That's the difference between materialistic study of the creation, which is science, or a human, not a believer, a human, not materialistic, which conditioned mind. I have to see the molecular structure only, never pay attention to the meaning. I know you are not a human being. You are not a human being. So as a human being studying, yeah, I am studying the molecular structure of water, and I am trying to understand how it came into existence, which kind of qualities are required to bring this water into existence, creation. And this person is the right scientist, true scientist. The other one is biased scientist. It's a kind of, I don't know, purposefully distracting or covering up the meanings in the creation. Or whatever we study in the universe, there we have to know that although they speak about the water, for example, the water or something, whatever, atom or I don't know, galaxies, a star, the sunbeams, whatever they study, they never pay attention to the meaning, how they came into existence, which kind of qualities is needed. So some religious people say that no, religion mentions about why, but science is about how. Two different fields. It's so irrational. Religion concentrates on how the water came into existence, so that you will conclude a wise, all-powerful, knowledgeable provider with free will, free choice, made the water into existence as I experience it. You know, water is there, I am here, there. Water and me are most compatible forms. Now, water cannot happen by itself independently from me. I cannot happen by myself independently from water. So there is a relationship, and this relationship shows up to me the utmost in every level. So it's not one event. Every level, wisdom in their existence. We have to discover by studying. So it refers to the wisdom of the creator of the water, whoever brought water into existence. But you can ask the option, there is an option, you can ask whether can it come into existence, can water come into existence randomly? You can ask the question, and the answer is not in the book of speech. Answer is again in the water. You have to go and study the water. Yeah, and see whether it is possible for the water to came into existence and then sequences of endless random actions by itself. Can it come into existence like this by itself as a result of changing, and finding the perfect form for itself? How the water knows me, or the animal beings. So that with the most appropriate form and stay there. When it's perfected, stays there. How does it know that I'm perfect? Huh? Which kind of qualities it has? So reducing religion to an answer, being an answer to why question is not only wrong, it is doing a crime to religious souls. Not only wrong, no, it is just reduction of the speech of God to a field which is not related to the essentials of creation, essentials of the book of creation. It is a very dangerous attitude. Unfortunately, it is very widely used, and they are proud of it. Science cannot give answer to why question. And the answer is, I don't know. I am interested in studying how the water happens to be here. I don't know. No, I live in this world and I have to understand the world, how it works. That's it. But what they are skipping, missing, when they study the water, they see in how it is coming into existence the qualities of it. It's very simple. At the same time, is why question irrelevant totally? No, human mind asks why the water should exist. Human mind asks. Yeah? But if you don't know how to answer the question to how, you cannot get the right answer why the water should exist. But I don't know. It exists, that's what I know. It's the materialist defense to this very simple argument, simple mind argument. They say, I'm not interested in why, but it is out there and I have to study and benefit from it. And you cannot say, okay, you cannot say that you're wrong. You have to ask why question. He asks, why should I why question? Why should I? Anyway, this is an important point. As far as the regulations of human life, the text listed here, moral training, human life, moral training, purification of the soul. It means checking yourself. How do you purify your soul? Yeah, how do you do it? What should we do? Soul. Now, how do you purify your soul? Yeah, being careful not to use your human abilities in the way that they are given to you and to be used. No. Yeah, if you don't use your human qualities, soul means human qualities as appropriate to their nature, what do? You correct your human nature. Because it doesn't fit. For example, it's a very simple example. There are many simple examples. Seeing the universe as meaningless. This is a wonderful being. How can it be meaningless? How can it be meaningless? It's full of meaning. if I study everything, it carries me a lot of meaning about its creator. Materialist mind is so conditioned, block itself, that they are going they are going to pay not attention to the meaning in existence. That is a prejudice, bias attitude. Then they may have some political agenda, I don't know, whatever they have, egoistic trend. They have the option, of course, everybody has the option. But as a free-thinking man, open-minded man, I look at it and I see that what was the purification of the soul? It means my human qualities. I should not block them from functioning as they are. I should not divert their direction. I should not distort them, human qualities, and try to be careful not to spoil my own human qualities and distort them. That is called in the language of the Quran,
Help.
No. Trying not to distort your human quality. So you have to be very careful to be consistent within yourself, not to contradict your human qualities. That is called in the Quran, Quranic language. Any suggestion? Taqwa. Trying to keep, from falling into mistake. Be aware of your own human responsibility. That is taqwa. I don't people understand it in a different way, but I don't care. What is taqwa? It's very simply trying to make not mistake, or trying to not make a mistake in your human qualities. Taqwa. Use it. Try to understand yourself. Use it in the most appropriate way. And the Prophet Muhammad came with a book, as he said, he received from God. Let's see. We are studying. Let's see if he's correct or not. He says, these guidance that you can find in the message I brought to you helps you to purify your soul. It means makes you be aware of falling into a mistake. Don't fall it, and I will give you the guidance. That is why in the Quran itself describes that the prophets are munzir. It means warners. Now be careful. If you don't follow this, you will find yourself in the wrong way of using your human qualities. Be careful. These are important concepts that the Quran introduces to us. So munzir is warner, usually understood something like threatening you from falling into hell. And it means making a mistake in what? Not in your usage or utilizing your human qualities, but usually what you hear. But you are expected to purify your soul and not to make a mistake. The Quran says if you make a mistake, you end up in hell. That is warning. Warning about the hell prepared for human future. But it is in the future. After I die, I don't know. Now, what is it? What does the munzir, the warner, mean to me in my practical life right now? About the possibility or the possible ways of making a mistake in utilizing my human feeling. You see the difference? Yeah, in utilizing my human feelings, using them. How do I evaluate it? According to my ambitions, misconceptions, under the influence of the external life that imposes on me certain values which has no human reality, or do they have human reality? We will question them. Yeah. Well, for example, I found the best example, passion. The best example, following the passion, being a monkey in the hands of some passion makers. Whatever they offer you, just follow without really thinking. Being is it like for normal? Yeah, follow certain trends or streams in the current civilization. We call it external life. Of course, they introduce you another alternative. And we are open to both options. And the Quran says, be careful and use your human quality. You will understand that it is not really correct. You will understand. I didn't create before to become a puppet in the hands of some fashion makers. So I created you to have the best value of existence in the world in the form of a human being. And you can really understand your quality in existence. This is a very important matter, although language-wise seems to be okay. We understood. The term here is used in this paragraph as religious life. What should we understand from religious life?
Consciousness. I think it kind of ties into the definition of taqwa as we were describing it, like be mindful and conscious and aware of your existence.
Purpose in your existence.
Purpose in your existence.
That is religious life. Simply put it, trying to see the parallel between what the creation brings to you, the meaning of the creation introduces meaning to you, and what your human side, not the flesh and bone, your human side understands from it. Yeah, that is your religious life. How about rituals? These are following after this decision. If religious rituals overtakes the priority and say this is religious life, praying, fasting, whatever, charity, etc., you ignore your human nature. So religious life must have the priority of your understanding of the meaning in the universe and the meaning in your existence, or the quality of your existence as a human being, and seeing the parallel there, coordination between them, and then deciding that, look, I have an owner, as the universe must have an owner. I must have an owner. My owner says, look, I am all powerful, I am all knowledgeable, all wise, all, not all free, absolute, I have absolute free will. It's very important, free will. Yeah. And I can do everything. I created you for this purpose. And see yourself whether you are really created in this purpose. And this universe cannot satisfy your expectations. Although it is wonderful, but you are endlessly wonderful than the creation itself. So creation gives the message, but doesn't satisfy your expectations, human expectations. So religious life must be based on this, and then afterwards, accordingly, so how can I communicate with my creator? How can I practice as the text says, how can I regulate my life according to my understanding of my existence? Then you say, there must be a guidance in the speech of God or in the creation. Everything obeys, and there's no exception to it. Everything obeys what? The will of their creator. Everything. So, what do you think the will of my creator is? I am not an accidental being. I don't accept that I will live in this world and die after certain years and disappear from existence. So what shall I do? I have to get to know who my creator is, communicate with him, because I have the ability to communicate with him. Yeah. So he says, okay, if you want to have a life most appropriate to your human qualities, you have to follow this pattern. For example, if you are admired, what do they do in some exhibition halls or museums? They put a book there, notebook, and ask the visitors to write their comments. Why? Because the visitors come to the exhibition hall or the museum, they see the things, when they get amazed, admired, mesmerized with what is exhibited there, they have to put it in words. So if you don't have anybody next to you who will discuss your emotions, or will give you the opportunity to express your emotions, write it down here. Right? Write it down here, because you are a human being, you need it. What usually people do when they go to a theater or an opera or a film, movie, they get out and,
They
talk about it. They go to the football or any sports competitions. What they do after the sports competition, they keep chanting their slogans, although the competition is over. And they saw how wonderful was it, man? How did he make the score or something? Well, it was excellent, isn't it? It's bad. This guy is not really, should not be in the team at all. He is not successful. After this, they all talk about it. So we have to, after getting admired with the creation, and it is human need that we have to express it. And I need guidance how to express it. Okay. If you feel the need to express it, not because it's a religious obligation, if you feel the need to express your admiration In the act of creation that you are facing, seeing, then the Prophet says, well, you can do it in this way and have a uniformity among the people who have the same understanding. Okay, I can do it in this way. Why not? Because I need to do something either this way or another way. So the prophetic example comes there. Only then, prophetic example. And the rituals, the religious rituals, only then make sense. If you don't go through the first stage, rituals become a kind of responsibility that if you don't do it, you will be punished. Why? Yeah, that's what the scripture says. And if I don't do it, and that scripture seems to be correct, then people must have some reason for it. So I better follow it because I may end up with a terrible life afterwards. That is a possibility. You never know. It may happen. Yep. That's why people say this. It may happen. So to be on the secure side, we have to do the religious rituals. Yep. I mean, to a certain extent, it's okay. But to a certain extent, it's okay. Mostly, it doesn't really satisfy a person who questions, why should I do it? Right, it must be satisfied by giving the proper answer to their inquiry, and the Quran provides this answer. And we have to study both universe and the Quran and our human senses together. That's what I answer from religious life. Examples: moral training, purification of the soul, care of the body, even the pure material stuff. Yeah, we need. We need to care of the body. I mean, even you are a tenant in the house, would you like to destroy it? You are a tenant, it doesn't belong to you. Would you like to destroy it? If you destroy it, you will be in trouble. Yourself will be in trouble. So what you do, take care of the dwelling that you are living in. So exactly, we have to take care of our body and bodily needs. Yeah. For example, you are a tenant, but you want water, you want electricity, you want heating, you want cooling system. Yeah. In the house that you are living in, although it is not yours. Yeah. The body is our temporary abode in this type of creation, because what is in it far beyond the limitations of life. What makes me a human being. Management of the house, civil law, social order, general law, and so on. We all need guidance from there as well for these subjects. And the Sharia, let's say the Quran brings all guidance how to manage all this. Okay. Yeah, sometimes this guidance is in general sense, so that the details are left to human mind to deduce, to come to a conclusion. Or if it is so, it must be so. Not every detail is given in Sharia. General guidance. We say we liken the Sharia like to a constitution. laws are to be deduced from the Constitution. Yeah, that's why the human reason, the text says it promulgated general principles and left to human reason the deduction of necessary laws, and we're based on that. Every law is based on what? Constitution. I think we talked about it.
So my question is actually on this point. Like the text says that so the Sharia promulgated general principles and left to human reason the deduction of necessary laws that were based on them. So as far as what I understand from this is that some of it, or the details, if you will, were left to my interpretation or my intellect or my way of reasoning. And later on in the same paragraph, it says, specialists in all sciences and branches of knowledge, if unbiased and fair-minded, will certainly admit that the religious rules and regulations of Islam and the commandments of its Sharia cannot be the product of a human being. So I'm trying to, like, for me, these two sentences sound kind of conflicting with one another. Like, one is emphasizing that, you know what, some of the things were left to my reasoning, and then on the other hand, it's also saying that this cannot be a product of a human being. So are we not bound to have conflict in this way of understanding? We're saying that it's not a result of a human person or a human being, but yet it's open to my interpretation.
Now, when you look at the Constitution, you see the general principles about almost everything, general principles. So if you want to apply this Constitution to practical life, you make laws. When you try to make laws and try to help the community to have peace and order in the social life of the community, you understand that while you are doing it, you're deducing the laws from the Constitution, you are using your reason. But when you use your reason, what do you experience there? Practical implications of the Constitution. So you go back to the Constitution and saying that after you applied it to perfectly fits to human nature, this Constitution cannot be the product of a human being because it encompasses everything under every condition. So human reasoning works in making the law, but the conclusion is about not what he did himself and admires himself. No, admires the Constitution, which includes guidelines for the best way of living for human beings. So the guidelines are related to, guidelines are from the Constitution. So we don't admire ourselves, but at the same time, we are wonderful creatures, thinking, conscious, having endless emotions, endless expectations. Yeah, we are conscious beings. And we can reason, wonderful, yeah, matter cannot reason, but I'm made of matter within the conditions of this universe. But as a result, for example, the computer is made of reason, matter, not reason, matter, yeah. And I see the program. Definitely, the matter is arranged in such a way that the program, when you upload the program on it, will work perfectly. Now, you can compare two things. One is the most essential one, the matter, the parts of the computer cannot be the source of the program, because the matter is arranged in such a way that it will run the program. Now, this is one thing that we conclude: the program cannot be be produced by the parts of the computer. Yeah, it needs a intelligent programmer. Yeah, people say intelligent designer. I say no, not intelligent designer. Yes, it includes designer, but not only designer, intelligent creator. Yeah, the program needs an intelligent programmer. It means, not in human terms, because we use the already existing materials, but as far as the universe is concerned, or human body, human being is concerned, it is created. The program is created. So intelligent creator. This creator creates the design. Yes. Wisdom. Yes. Knowledge. Yes. Whatever you see in the creation. So that's why those people who propagate intelligent design, mostly sincere people, very good people, coming from Christian background, in Christianity, because of the Christian creed, the Christian understanding is not necessarily based on act of creation. So it doesn't establish its theory as it is now, not as it was introduced by Jesus. We don't know. We don't have the necessary documents for it. But as it is presented in the society now, does not emphasize on the creation side of the matter or the world. Now they reduce it to first. They started with creation is wonderful, and then they couldn't really continue that because the creation did not fit their Christian understanding. So what they did, they shifted because it doesn't work. It didn't really defend creationism, defend the belief in the Creator in a way that challenging the materialist interpretation. So to some extent it failed. So they shifted to intelligent design. I say, no, you should go further. Intelligent creator. So what was the point of view? Other computer example. No. The program needs an intelligent creator of the program. But at the same time, the computer itself also needs what? Intelligent creator. So it will say, the maker of the computer will say, this is an appropriate combination of matter in such a way that it will help the program to run. Right? That is but secondary. The first one, the program definitely needs, because there is no source within the parts of the computer, that's for sure, which will be the source of existence of the program. But it's metal. Program is an intelligent being, but at the same time, when you study the material side of the computer, you say, yeah, it is made of matter, but it is still made of by an intelligent maker or creator. Do you understand it? Both of them are strong, but the first one is the most important. Do you understand the difference? So, program has no source in the universe to produce. Okay, to make the computer also There's no source in the universe that can make the computer. Yeah, in the perfect as it is now. It is as it works. Whether it's perfect or not, whatever, it works. It provides the means for the program to operate. Not the material side of it. But it is a material being. But the program is not a material being. Pure human reasoning. And it needs to be created by a one who knows the computer, how he made it, and he will make the program so that it will work with the computer. That's what the universe is. So the universe is made in such a way that it will run the program. What is the program? We read this. This one. Essentials of science. The program. It means the meaning in the existence of the computer. It means universe. So the meaning refers to a totally abstract field of existence. Abstract means not of the nature of this universe at all. The meaning. So when you look at the text again, the paper, when you read it, you are reading the signs or, I don't know, shapes of the ink traces. Yeah, it is there. But you can see the shape, you can see the paper, you can see the type of the characters used here, and you can also see that meaning in it. And this meaning cannot ever, never reduce to material form. It must be something else, something different from the paper. Do you understand? Something definitely different from it. And that the paper is unconscious, that the meaning is conscious. It is meaning. The sentence is meaning. So this is the most important part of looking at the text, looking at the computer. Yeah, if there was no program running through the computer, you admire at the existence of the computer, but you don't know what is it doing. Why is it there? You don't know how it came into existence. It is admiring, yes. It is really mesmerizing, yes. We believe that it is being, but you don't utilize it. Program must be. So the book or the book or the written thing, written property thing, call it, paper or anything. So you really admire that how the letters are following each other. Yeah, deliberately organized, designed, then made. But at the same time, after you read the sentence, it makes sense. It has meaning, and you understand it, you communicate with it. You are right, you are wrong, something. You communicate with it. Why you are communicating with it? Are you communicating with the paper? Whom are you communicating with? What is the writer?
Paper.
Not the paper. That is why abstract notion is most important. That's why in the analogy of the computer, program is the most essential part that we have to pay attention, and also compatibility between the program and the way the computer is made. Oh, both of them are amazing, but the first one is really, you cannot come up with an answer at a with a counter answer to this question. how to program came into existence. You can go and see the creation as well, how the meaning in the creation came into existence. But the matter itself, matter has no meaning by itself. It cannot be the source of the existence of an abstract being, meaning. Impossible. It's so obvious. Okay, I think the case is clear. Yeah. So at the end of the paragraph, towards the, somebody admired that. Okay, you don't have to be Thomas Carlyle to admire it, but it's an example people are weak. If a non-Muslim admires the quality of the Creator, it attracts more attention than if a Muslim says, I really love the Quran. And that's your culture, anyways, you have to love it. Otherwise, you have to deny your cultural background. That's why he gave the example, but I would really spend time on it because I'm not here to come to a conclusion because of a Western philosopher admire the Quran. My evidence is enough for me. Yep. Okay. I think we have some time, 6 minutes. Can we read the last paragraph of this subsection?
Despite a myriad of attacks from all fronts and endeavors to distort it, Islam preserves its truths. It can even be said that all those attacks and endeavors make the layer of dirt that has been placed over Islam thinner and thinner, as a love for the truth and a zeal for research develop in humanity. The present state of the world bears witness to this. The premises in the first part of this book should be taken into consideration.
Yeah, this has been said before, but the text says it was months, if not years, months, year.
When we started reading this,
Yeah, it was years. So we may not remember. Yeah, I don't really. Attacks, of course. That's human beings, because human beings have the option to accept it and uphold it or reject it. And what is the opposite of upholding? Degrading. Yeah. That's human. It's human. So what this feeling or this quality is important. I have to uphold the truth and degrade the false, reject the false. Right? That's what I have to do. If someone says, go and kill a man, I say, no, but rejecting this offer. Right? Go and steal. I said, no, rejecting the offer. This quality in human being is needed to reject the mistakes so that the human beings will be able to make the distinction between right and wrong. That's how we are here. This is within the very teaching of the Quran. This is the right way, this is the wrong way. This is the right and wrong, always compared. Always compared. Even the fundamental is based on what? Rejecting the wrong, confirming the right. La ilaha illallah. That's human. That's what we have options. And the Quran itself says, we have opened up two ways in front of human being. Always. In all cases. So those people may not prefer for various reasons. Mostly the reason I always see and repeat this reason, because of the because of the misrepresentation of religion by ignorant people. Even the religious leaders present Islam in such a way that it doesn't make sense. It requires just imitation of your cultural heritage. That's what the general attitude is. Not always everybody, but general attitude. You are a Muslim, you have to follow the Quran. Quran is God's word. You cannot challenge God's word. That's correct, really? Do I know better than God? But how do you know that the Quran is God's word? We are Muslims. Doesn't make sense. So, because of this misrepresentation of the Quran by the Muslims, and also we have to be very careful because of the exploitation of the religious emotions of the people by some people and turning the religion into institutions and institutionalizing the religion under the control of certain class of people which were called clergy. That is a very good reason for a person to doubt about the legitimacy of or religion. Why? Look, people are exploiting it. People are using it. It means it's a made-up story that it is in the hands of some, I would say, dishonest people. Although they may propagate Islam, but propagate Islam in your wrong way. Or Islam or Christianity or Judaism, doesn't matter, whatever the reason. All the clergies must be screened very carefully. All the clergy. It's really propagating the culture and gaining a status in the society and making reputations for himself, fame, stature in the society. We have to be very careful about it. I mean, you may not judge about people's intention, but what they present may well be wrong. Be careful about it. Now, people say, okay, by looking at the appearance, they say religion is wrong, really exploit. Yeah? And when a famous, everybody knows, I think, philosopher, clever philosopher. Yeah, to a certain extent, he really mentioned about truths a lot. So, okay. I don't want to go back to my previous slide. So, I really admired some of his ideas. He said, religion is used as an opium for killing the people's mind and making them imitators of certain class of people. Really correct. Not totally correct, as he said, but practically mostly correct. So we said, okay, we reject religion now. Now, that's the wrong attitude. But becoming aware of this reality is correct. So we should not really label anyone who says, I don't believe in the religion. Or you say, oh, he is rejecting the truth. No. He is being simple, superficial. He's not rejecting the truth because he is superficially examining the religion by looking at misrepresentation of religion by either ignorant people because they don't know exactly what religion is all about, and also by institutionalized religion, represented by clergy. We don't say that they are rejecting the truth, but they are being superficial, shallow-minded. They are not ready to try to understand what religion is all about, really. So we shouldn't reject them as atheists or agnostics, whatever. We have to be very careful. They may be a good reasoning people, but they reason on the wrong strata, wrong level, looking at the people, looking at the institutions, how they are used. So we have to say, you look, within your own reasoning, you are right. Why? And looking at all this superficially, I don't agree with them either. Right? Because of when I speak to people, such people, happens a lot in my life because of my position. I say, look, for the reasons you reject religion, I am more atheist than you are. So what? As an imam, they call me. So as an imam, right? You are saying you are more atheist than I am. I am really blank atheist. I don't believe in the religion. Yes, I am more. Why? For the same reason as you have. But would you like to hear my reason? Why I am not? He feels relaxed. He says, what's my reasoning? What's your reasoning? Let's compare it. It opens the way in a friendly way without accusing the opposite side. So these people, let's come to the paragraph. These people, if they are not introduced the correct understanding of religion, they prefer to attack because they want to disgrade it. Because if you don't like something you say, for example, if you buy something and if you are not happy with it, what you do, you put an evaluation or what do they say in online
Review.
rate preview or
Review comments.
review, yeah. Comment. You say, I bought it and I'm very sorry that I bought it. It's very bad. Why do you like that? Because in human nature that we are created, we are compelled in our creation to reject the wrong. That's with us. That's human. You don't have to be a believer. If you see that somebody is telling a lie, you say, you don't sit there. He's telling a lie. He's telling a lie. You want to express it. Yeah, because it is human nature to reject what is wrong. But these people think that for some reason religion is wrong and make a general blanket statement. Say all the ideas that introduced to human beings by religious sources are wrong and they want to attack. We have to understand that they attack and we say, yeah, for the reason you attack the religion, I agree with you. But most of the people are not ready for this. You are rejecting the people. You are a heathen. You are an unbeliever. You are a denier. Accusation upon accusation. And they cannot really demonstrate the truth. But they are just fighting. But this is a love for the truth and a zeal for research developed in humanity. So, two things are here. It's here. Love for the truth is human, and also using human qualities in order to evaluate why these people attack the religion, and is the religion really what they say? Let me examine it. When you examine it, you understand. You understand that religion itself teaches what is not strange, and you are unfamiliar with what the religion is saying. It is within you and confirmed by the witnessing of the universe. You understand. But while you are investigating the content of the attacks, you become more aware of the truth in religion if you really study. But if somebody attacks religion on a shallow base, if you defend religion on a shallow base, in this encounter, religion is defeated. That's why most of the time they are proud that those people attack religion. They are proud that none of the people challenged my idea and I'm right. Yeah. We have to investigate, by the way, whether it's an attack or not. We have to investigate. We have to understand the fundamentals, and we have to spend some time for it. Inshallah. Okay, inshallah, we should stop here. The time is more than. Okay. Thank you. Inshallah, I didn't waste your time. I like the base of our argument. It seemed really consistent. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم الحمد لله رب العالمين.